All right, Saagar, what are you looking at?
Well, we spent a lot of time on the show repeating a fundamental axiom. Follow the money. It's not always the answer, but 9 times out of 10, it is to whatever happens in politics that's right before your eye. It's especially the case in the story that we're going to look at today, the remarkable rise of Stacey Abrams financially, the failed gubernatorial candidate who parlayed her failure into national prominence and another shot at the governor's race while running on a whole bunch of nothing. Tuesday morning, while preparing for that day's show, I came across a very interesting article. Headline reads, Stacey Abrams reaches millionaire status before second campaign. That's interesting. Let's dig deeper. Well, as I pointed out here, Abrams now says she is worth $3.17 million, according to state disclosures filed in March. That is compared with a net worth of $109,000 when she first ran 4 years ago. Even more remarkable when you consider this. When she ran for governor last time in 2018, she actually had $50,000 in unpaid taxes to the IRS and an additional $170,000 in credit card debt and student loan debt. In other words, in 2018, she was worth negative money. Today, she's a multimillionaire. Wow, classic American rags to riches story. Except she has never built or done anything except be a failed politician. Honest work, I guess if you can get it, to increase your net worth by 30 times in less than 4 years. Let's review how exactly Stacey made her money. Per her campaign spokesperson, Abrams made her money the good old American way. She gave 37 paid speeches in 2021, including a 12-stop fall tour of standalone appearances. Furthermore, she has written, co-written, or reissued 6 books since 2019, with another reissue on the way later this year. Even better, Abrams was paid $700,000 over the last 3 years as the executive director of the Southern Economic Advancement Project, which seeks to, quote, improve economic equity in the South. Furthermore, the $3.17 million figure is just her net worth, how much she's worth right now. Per financial disclosure, she actually earned $6 million in the last 4 years, with the rest presumably going towards taxes and spending with an allocated $5 million in payments for some books or speeches. So, of course, the question arises, as it did for Hillary's paid speeches before the 2016 campaign. Who are the people paying millions of dollars to Stacey Abrams for speeches? Well, guess what? They don't want you to know that information. It took me a little while to track it down. I found a filing showing that Abrams was paid by Harry Walker Agency. That's a speakers bureau. When you go to the Harry Walker Agency website, they've actually removed Abrams' profile because it actually listed the people who had paid her. Then I had to use an archived version of the website, the Wayback Machine, and voila, now we at least know some of the clients. Let's review. Per the archive version of the website, people who have paid Abrams include the Human Resources Summit, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Bombas, the Sox company, the Interactive Advertising Bureau, the MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth, the Society for Social Work Research, Pinterest, the company, and TED Talks. Pinterest in particular seems to have been very taken in by Abrams, telling the agency, quote, everything went swimmingly, Stacey was a huge hit, you could hear a drop of a pin in the room, it was so quiet and engaged. Now maybe, like professional wrong person Jason Johnson, you think that's totally fine. She's only worth 3.7, Governor Kemp is worth 8.5, David Perdue is worth 50. Look, man, I'm right there with you. David Perdue is corrupt as hell. Former CEO of Dollar General with questionable stock trades at best during the pandemic. Kemp is also a multimillionaire real estate mogul, which as far as I know is probably one of the least honest businesses in the world. But that's the point, right? They're all slimy. Let's at least be honest about that. Instead, the level of vitriol that I received for pointing out the basic fact that she's a millionaire was incredible. What, Saagar, do you have a problem with private citizens making money? Is this because she's black? No, absolutely not. My problem, as it has always been from the beginning, with stock trades or the revolving door, is when people make money, not by creating economic value for other people, but from parlaying political access into personal profit. Consider her latest book, for which she got a fat advance for. Level Up, Rise Above the Hidden Forces Holding Your Business Back. Okay, I'm sorry. Last time I checked, this woman is not a successful business person in any way, especially before she ran for office. In fact, the only business credibility she has is co-founding a financial invoices company with her co-author of this book. I mean, good for you. But look, it hasn't IPO'd yet, the valuation is currently secret, and most people have never heard of it. What does that What does she really have to tell us about business? Why am I spending so much time on this story? Well, first of all, because corporate media won't. Somebody should at least detail how bipartisan the corruption is in this race, no? But because there is nothing I stand less than astroturfed politicians like Stacey Abrams, crying victim and then getting filthy rich off of it. Children's books about her speeches, business books, even though she's not in any way a successful business person. The vast majority of her personal income is derived solely from the fame bestowed upon her by the media, even though, I repeat, she lost the election in 2018. And if you think Pinterest and MasterCard paid Stacey Abrams out of the kindness of their heart to hear what she had to say, I have a bridge to sell you. Paid speeches are about as close to legal bribery as it gets in America for politicians. It was true during the Clinton campaign. It's true when GOP politicians like Paul Ryan do it. And it is true with Stacey Abrams. It's an iron law of politics that doesn't care about what party you belong to. And I'm going to end you this to remind you of the before times. When Stacey Abrams was flirting with the presidential bid, many people, including Joe Biden, tried to recruit her for her endorsement. Nobody could get it done, despite immense pressure from all the various candidates. Until, finally, she did an event with one candidate. That man's name was Michael Bloomberg. And he, personally, had given Abrams' voting group $5 million of his own money. She went on to defend his candidacy and even act as kind of a surrogate for a short time. That's who she is. We already know she can be bought. That's true of both her opponents too, probably. But let's all be honest about who we're talking about here. I mean, a business book, Crystal? I mean, it's just
cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.